This is Justin from the Belt Collectors, and as promised, it is story time. Bye. This one's going to be a little different. This is going to be a little fantasy booking. This is something that Brock and I did back when we worked together to pass time. We would fantasy book, and this is right around the time that Bryan Danielson had said that his time in the ring was coming to an end. So we thought it would be fun to fantasy book his last year in ring. So a little premise. This is right when Punk left AEW and Collision became kind of Bryan's show, quote unquote. So he's only appearing on Collision. And he doesn't appear until Winter is Coming, because he is healing up and getting ready for this last chapter in his career. So at Winter is Coming, he comes out and cuts a promo where he talks about how his career is coming to an end, and he isn't worried about belts. He wants memories. He wants matches he's never had on the big stages. He also wants his family to enjoy what he has left in the ring. And to make that a reality, out comes Brie Bella, his wife. She makes her AEW debut as his manager, and crowd goes crazy, of course. He goes on to say he wants the greatest technical wrestlers and icons to step up and fight. Music hits. Out comes Kyle O'Reilly. He said even though they were in the same companies, they never really crossed paths, mostly in WWE. So he proposes a 3-match set, each with a different stipulation. Match 1 is going to be submission. Match 2 is going to be Iron Man. And then the third of the trilogy will be no holds barred. First match takes place at Ring of Honor Final Battle, where both their careers started. After a hard-fought back and forth of technical submissions and MMA-based grappling, Kyle comes out on top after Bryan passes out. Bryan does not tap. Match 2 will take place at Revolution. The match has insane spots. This is the Iron Man, and they're doing a little throwback to the Brett and Shawn. There's, like I said, insane spots, false finishes like microseconds away. At the end, it's tied at 2 falls apiece. They mutually agree to a sudden death fall, and Bryan gets Kyle set up on the announce table and hits a flying headbutt through the announce table, and Kyle is unable to make it back in the ring before the 10 count. Both are off TV for some time. The Iron Man match was brutal, so they need time to recover. Bryan does come back on TV before Double or Nothing, talking about he knows he has one more match left with Kyle, but he has other business to attend to, so he's going to put that on the back burner, saving that last match for a later date. And he says he wants Sting at Double or Nothing in a traditional one-on-one. And this is right around when they were talking about Sting having his last match. And in this alternate reality, this is Sting's retirement match at Double or Nothing. The match is an instant classic. Bryan makes Sting look like Surfer Sting, NWO Sting. Like, he makes him look good. And Bryan retires Sting. Leading into Forbidden Door, Bryan wants someone from his past. He wants Tanahashi. Even though Tana is aging and stiff, they are still able to put on a match worthy of the hype. It ends in a time limit draw. The two men hug it out, hold each other up, kind of like Taker and Triple H at Mania, and show each other so much respect. At Blood and Guts, he wants another person from the past whom he has a lot of history with, Edge, Adam Copeland. Edge comes out, or Adam, sorry, I'm so used to calling him Edge. Adam comes out and is flattered and accepts under one condition. He has to drop Bree as his manager, because Bree's been interfering on his behalf. I mean, why would you not have a manager if she's not going to help you win? So Bryan refuses to drop his wife because he's talking about the memories they're making and the stories they get to tell their kids and grandkids. Adam says, then you can meet my manager. Cameras cut to backstage, and there's Adam's wife, Beth Phoenix, beating the holy hell out of Bree. Beth looks straight in the camera and tells Bryan that he did this. Promos go back and forth between all four, leading to a mixed tag on Collision. All hell breaks out, and there's no finish. Bryan accidentally hits Beth with a running knee, and in return, Edge, or Adam, spears Bree. The next Collision, Bryan says enough is enough, and if Edge wants him solo, then he's got it. But it isn't going to be easy, because he wants him in a strap match. Adam wins, and it is a bloody mess. Both wives come out and beg them to stop. It is so brutal that they can't stand watching them do this to each other. After a couple weeks off TV of a healing, Bryan comes out and says it's time to finish his trilogy with Kyle. And Kyle comes out and praises Bryan for the matches and says that praises him for the matches that he had, and that the only way this could end is where it began, at Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor, last man standing match. Bryan reminds him that technically he already beat him in the last man standing match in their last match, but Kyle puts up a video that shows Bree was holding him down on the table at the preventing him from actually getting up and making the 10 count. Bryan agrees to respect the honor code and face him one-on-one. After the match, Kyle comes out on top with Bryan unable to meet the 10 count. The match spilled out backstage, a parking lot, where Kyle was able to toss him off a semi-trailer onto a car. That's why he was unable to meet the 10 count. Bryan is off TV for a while, and speculation is that he won't return. At the closing moments of All In, Bryan returns. He says that he's hurt and doesn't know if he can go again. But after talking to his old foe Edge, he was reminded what Edge said during his first AEW promo. He asked his kids, "What does Daddy do?" And they say, "Wrestle." So that's what he's going to do. He's got one more left in him, and he wants it all out. And he wants Joe. Slams the mic and leaves. Video packages and promos chronicling their history. The day is here. Samoa Joe versus Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, whatever you want to call him, all out. The best work both men have ever done, hitting classic moves, high spots, classic Joe walkaway spots when Bryan tries to hit a flying headbutt. Ultimately, Joe hits a muscle buster off the top rope. 1, 2, 3. The career is over. Joe rolls out, walks up the ramp to be greeted by the entire locker room, and then the audience gives Bryan a standing ovation that seems to last forever. His wife and kids come out and join him, and he says his goodbye. That is how I would have booked Bryan Danielson's last year in the ring. Let me know if you have any thoughts, anything you would have changed. But yeah, stay tuned for more stuff like this, and if you want to see more fantasy booking, let us know. Thanks.